Yeah.
No, but this is nice, isn't it? Closing the festival with a film which is
Very
very
nice.
British in terms of the cast, obviously. And
It is very
the
British,
story.
yes.
What's it like working with a collective like this?
Well, it's lovely, and we had because the budget kind of went up and down like a tart's drawers. What time of day are you showing this? Up and down like a bride's nightie. It was very, very interesting because sometimes we looked like we had a big proper budget, and sometimes we looked like it was kick bollocks and scrambles and we were doing TV. So we developed a very good sort of company atmosphere. You know, we didn't sit in our trailers all day. We just sort of all sat around the set. So it was very nice, yeah. And I hope that comes across. I've not seen it yet, so I'm mildly nervous. I mean, you think of all the work you do, you just think, would you like to see it in front of about 2,000 people down at Leicester Square, or perhaps in your sitting room on a DVD? So I'm slightly nervous, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This chap Dickens who wrote this, he's got a good future ahead of him, hasn't he, really?
Say again?
This Dickens chap.
Dickens chap, I think he's got a very, very big future in front of him. You can continue to write these wonderful stories.
What is it about this story, though, that it survives the fact that it keeps getting translated?
Well, it keeps getting translated because, we had this conversation earlier, Mike and I had this conversation where we were in rehearsal about the fact that it's kind of, although it was written way before sort of psychology and psychiatry, all the characters are completely believable in a modern setting, from Miss Havisham downwards. You know, they're all people who you would recognize in a modern world. They're people who have their own pathology and their own strange views of the world. And you've got a wonderful story because you've got two great love stories. Miss Havisham's went horribly wrong, and then you think Pip, and you think Becky, and you think what's going to go on with there. And also you just got should have cursed these transparent underpants. And you have you also have the fact that somebody's life completely changes. Because a guy's knocking out horseshoes one day, and then somebody turns up and says, you have great expectations, you might have won the lottery. And then the story becomes, how's he going to cope with this? Is he going to be nice and continue to be the nice boy he is? Or is he going to take all this money and behave atrociously like all the other people who've got lots of money who inherited it? And that's one of the great dynamics of the story. I think it's a fantastic story. I think that's why people have made it so many times.
And is it easy finally? Is it easy or difficult to not look at prior versions to the character?
Well, I've watched them all, of course, because I'm a film nut. Me and Mike Newell, we just talked about film all the time, which is why I wanted to do this in many ways, because we did The Potter and so forth. And he'd say, big tall guy, he was in the early version of the Avengers, and then he'd walk off, and I go, what guy? We did, he's like me, he's completely mad about film. He's got more reasons to be mad about film since he's made about 17 of the best ones ever made. Can you imagine somebody who made, 4 Weddings and a Funeral and Donnie Brasco? How talented would you have to be? So I was delighted to work with him again.
Well, lovely to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.